Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to go over our daily technical analysis of gold and silver. Take a look at it. We'll look at the dollar, 10-year yield, precious metals, ETFs, individual companies. And I'll give you my financial opinion. It's just my opinion. Please don't use it as advice. And let's dive in and take a look at what the charts are saying and let them do the talking. So I first start with the dollar and gold. And the dollar was pretty dang strong today. 0.54%. You can see this thing coming on up. It is contracting. It'll probably head lower tomorrow. If you kind of draw this in, it's an ascending wedge type pattern. And here's us coming on down as this guy's going on up for gold. Looking at the dollar from a little bit bigger, larger perspective here, it's definitely broken to the upside. It's got some room to run. Let it run, let it tire itself out. May take a little bit of time. And it could run pretty quick. Remember, this is 1 day lagged. This is at 90, almost 96. We're all the way up here already. And there isn't much resistance up here coming back up all the way till about 97, 98. About 97.50. Yeah, 97.50, 97. They could get up there pretty easy, pretty quick. Looking at the 10-year yield, this thing looks fantastic to break to the upside and probably run quite a bit for yields. So we have a stronger dollar. We have what could potentially be a breakout to the upside for yields, which means stronger yields. And I'm in the camp that if we get stronger yields, it's going to force money out of stocks and bonds, especially if it's an inflationary period. So we should be seeing a chart with gold that looks very similar to it. Higher yields also is analogous to oil going up. They usually move up in tandem, just like gold. So we've got this coming up. We've got a huge pattern here. We broke out, and we're probably going to come and back test or do a return move to the breakout. We need to kiss this pattern goodbye. That's probably what's going to happen. Zoomed in on gold. Yeah, we've got a little bit of a down move. Remember, the return move doesn't have to go all the way back to this line here. It could come back just a little bit and then go. So this is usually the spot that I start looking to accumulate. We also have silver here. Here's our uptrend line, big long-term uptrend line. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to steal this guy. I'm going into Paint. I'm going to steal this chart here, and I'm going to show you something. It's much easier to draw on it than it is. So here we've got a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder with the neckline right there. So we've got a reverse head and shoulders, or an inverted head and shoulders, where this is going to break to the upside. So that's what I see in the medium term. The projected move of it is about that. It's about 28.50, somewhere in that range. And what that does is it puts us right above the breakout of kind of this old resistance line. So this thing looks really, really good to move on up. That's what I'm seeing in this chart. And we did bounce off this long-term resistance trend line. Looks good. And if you look at platinum, I'm taking a little bit bigger picture view on this. We've got the support line down here. It came all the way down and tagged it at 900. That's where I was like, let's buy some platinum. Coming on up. We also have a shoulder, head, shoulder developing here with the neckline on here. Something very similar to that of silver. Copper, we've got this pattern here. We broke to the upside. We're coming back, and I'll just say we're making love to this line right now. we're bumping and grinding on it. And I'm hoping we can get out of here and move to the upside. That's what I'm hoping. And what you're going to see is these reverse head and shoulders all over the place. And we can draw this guy through here and through here. It's a broadening structure going down. We can draw another trend line through here that we broke. And this is your shoulder, head, shoulder with the neckline here. And it looks like we're about to bounce around for a little bit sideways, maybe for the next day or two. And we're doing that with SILJ as well, kind of a shoulder, head, shoulder with the neckline right there. Maybe it's going to bounce a little bit before moving on up. Endeavor Silver's got a similar pattern, kind of a shoulder, head, shoulder, inverted. And again, First Majestic, shoulder, head, and then a shoulder. It's kind of going back and forth. We may head a little bit lower here before moving on up, but everything's still intact. EMX Royalty, we've got the downtrend line that we broke. So that one looks okay. Everything's intact. Sandstorm Gold, again, I'm looking at these kind of like a shoulder, head, shoulder deal with the small neckline, small head that we could break. Looks like we're coming back a little bit. And Cisco Gold Royalty, I kind of threw that one in there to look at a different one. Everything's looking good. Newmont's got a little bit more of selling pressure, more of a bearish engulfing. We could head a little bit lower here for the next couple of days for Newmont. Here's Barrick Gold. I'm going to copy this one, just see what we have here. And, you know, I'm kind of looking at this guy here. It's kind of coming through here. We've got another guy coming through here. We got like another guy coming through maybe here. It's that structure that's downward. We got to break to the upside, and it's a continuation move when this is slanted downward like this. It's just a gigantic pattern. It's called a broadening structure. I learned it from Francis Hunt. Oh yeah, what's up? But that looks like it just needs some time. Wheaton Precious Metals. Again, I'm looking at these from a little bit bigger perspective, trying to find what's going on here, and that's what we're trying to break right now. That's why we're getting some resistance through there. And then we've got kind of a pattern coming through that way, and then a pattern coming through this way. So we come through, we're coming up, and we're starting to break, and that's what we're trying to break right there, right now. For Wheaton Precious Metals, that's why we're hitting a little bit of resistance there. Franco-Nevada, you could draw one across here. All right, let's do it. And I'm just kind of drawing all over these guys. So I'm looking kind of at that there. And then we've got like another one there, and then another one down here. It's like a big fan coming on up. It's got to break. It's got to break. And it will. Just give it time. Here's copper, Global X Copper Miners, your downtrend line. It broke out. We are kissing the line goodbye, and hopefully we can get the heck out of here. Move on up. Glencore's looking really good. This one's been moving on up, looking solid. You could draw a support line through here. I'll do it for you guys. But Glencore looks really strong. I like this this guy here. What I'm seeing is this kind of pattern through there. It broke to the upside, came back to retest, and then probably going to take off here right now. So if you guys like Glencore, that'd be one to look at. GLNCY. If you like a copper company or diversified company. Norilsk Nickel, I'm throwing in the fanning, broadening structure pattern that it has. These eventually break to the upside and have very large moves. There's another pattern back here too. Here's another broadening pattern as well. I'll show you guys kind of what it looks like so you guys can get familiar with it, because I keep seeing these. So we've got kind of this guy here. Oops. And then this one is another broadening structure here that you can see. So you come up into these things, you go through this broadening structure, it breaks to the upside, goes through another broadening structure, and it'll break to the upside. It's a continuation pattern if they are tilted downward like this. You could probably have another one here too. it just stair steps higher like that. So that's Norilsk nickel, and it's probably not a bad spot to be looking at it. We have a higher low if this holds. Here's Tech Resources. Again, we have these structures that go sideways like this, and then they just break and keep going sideways and breaking higher. Tech Resources looks good. Nova Royalty. This is a copper nickel royalty company, a smaller one. Moving on sideways, it broke to the upside. It comes back like this. And honestly, guys, I have very good luck buying it in this position right where it's at. And this is where I usually load up. I bought here. I actually bought on this day. I bought again, again, and I'd buy here too. So that's what I have for today. Gold and silver look fine. It just needs to give that final kiss goodbye. That's all it's got to do. It's got to do that return move, and then we'll send it. Silver looks fantastic. Reverse or inverted head and shoulders. We got the patterns, guys. We just have to have the cojones to ride through it. We got to ride through whatever volatility we got. Pick up more shares if that's what you want to do, and hold on. That's kind of what I'm seeing. Copper's looking pretty good. A lot of the, like Glencore looks really solid for a pick. Nova Royalty looks solid. Norilsk nickel looks like it's got its downtrend broadening structure that we could break to the upside. Everything looks pretty good, at least in this sector. So I give it a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.